This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 277. Friends Don't Let Friends Lift Light by Roger Lawson of rajlawfitness.com. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik, reading you some of the most popular health and fitness blogs out there, with permission from the authors, of course. I have an inspirational quote for you today, supposedly said by the great Marcus Aurelius. But who really knows, right? It was so long ago. Maybe he said this, maybe he didn't. Either way, it's a really good one. Here we go. Quote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." End quote. And I want to slightly modify that quote to say what a good man or woman should be. Be one. Now, today's post is from Roger Lawson. Before we hear it, though, if you know anyone that likes audiobooks and might like audio blogs, definitely let them know about our podcast. You can show them how to subscribe on their phone, or you can link them to oldpodcast.com/listen. Thank you so much in advance. We really appreciate it. And with that, let's hear another post from Raj as we optimize your life. Friends Don't Let Friends Lift Light by Roger Lawson of rajlawfitness.com. I've traveled far and wide to acquire this information. I've eaten fish with a Kodiak bear, drank tea with a Tibetan monk, and even exchanged iced-out watches with aliens on Pluto, all so that I could return to give you a powerful tool to add to your fat loss arsenal. Are you ready? Descent into madness. If I had $1 for every time I read or heard someone say that you need to utilize high reps in order to lose fat or cut up, I'd be riding around in a rocket ship, because that's just how pervasive this myth has become. Take a look around your gym, or perhaps even your own routine, and I'm sure you'll find several examples. A sample workout of someone subscribing to this kind of dogma probably consists of 5 different bicep curls, plus every bench press variation known to man, repeated forever and ever and ever until the end of time. While what I just mentioned is mostly in jest, there is a serious point to be made. The way most people train for the goal of fat loss is counterproductive. But you know what? I don't blame them, as I too was a victim of it and did my fair share of spreading misinformation back in the day. With the rise of this new hip thing called the internet, great information is easy to find, but so is the nonsense. When you look at weight training from a simplistic point of view, it almost sounds like it would make sense. Strength training equals calories burned. Strength training plus a never-ending amount of sets equals even more calories burned. Even more calories burned equals fat annihilation. Right? Nope. When your goal is to lose enough fat to look good naked, or at the very least in some form-fitting clothes, the last thing you want to do is engage in constantly lightweight, high-rep training. And here's why. 1. It provides no incentive. If you're cutting calories like you're supposed to be doing, then proper strength training is one of your greatest allies in the battle against the chub. Emphasis on the word proper. Unfortunately, doing nothing but the type of training described above doesn't cut the cake as far as proper goes, and may very well leave you looking like a smaller, weaker version of your current self. In a caloric deficit, your body is like the blob. It doesn't care if the weight that you're losing is composed of muscle or fat, and it will gobble up whatever it needs to in order to provide itself with what you aren't giving it. Sounds pretty lame, right? Luckily, there is an easy solution. By training with heavy weights and compound movements, coupled with sufficient protein intake, you're waving a fiery torch of doom at your body, keeping it away from your treasure trove, muscle, and steering it towards a less important resource, body fat. Unlike lifting a weight dozens of times and not stressing your system, training with heavy weights provides your body with a physiological incentive to hold on to the muscle that you have, because you're demonstrating that you actually need to keep it around. In the end, this is what you want, because muscle plus reduced body fat is responsible for giving your body the definition and tone that most men and women are looking for. Yes, it is true that if you don't use it, you lose it. 2. It compromises recovery. Imagine that your muscles are like a sandcastle, and every time you train and allow time to recover, your sandcastle comes back bigger and better than before. This is how things normally go, but things aren't normal when you're trying to lose fat. Your recovery is already hampered because you're eating less than you need to maintain your current state, plus you're demanding more of it by adding more for it to recover from in the form of higher reps. This would be the equivalent of me drop-kicking your sandcastle right in the middle of you rebuilding it. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Now, what kind of person would I be if all I did was tell you about a problem and just stand there in my b-boy stance without providing you with any kind of solution? I would be a person composed entirely of dubious and questionable morals, and that just won't do. Enter the pyramid. The most effective training method that I've ever used to pack on size or maintain my strength and muscle mass while dieting is called reverse pyramid training, which is a simple training philosophy that I first discovered through Martin Berkhan, which sidesteps the pitfalls of the constant high-rep, low-weight training. General rules. 1. Use this for only 1 or 2 compound lifts per session in order to avoid burnout. 2. Choose a predefined rep range, anywhere from 1 to 10 reps depending on the exercise, only increasing weight when you get to the upper end of that range. 3. After a proper warm-up, your first work set will be your heaviest set. This is what you want to focus the majority of your efforts towards progressing on. 4. Drop the weight by 10% or so each subsequent set in order to add 1 or 2 reps when compared to your last set. Here's a page from my training log. Chin-ups. 2 sets of 3 to 4 reps, then 1 set as many chin-ups as possible. Set number 1. Body weight plus 100 pounds, 3 reps. Rest at least 3 minutes. Drop that weight about 10% and terminate the set after you get an additional 1 to 2 reps from your last set. So set number 2, body weight plus 75 pounds and 4 reps. Set number 3, body weight only and 11 reps. Done. Rest 3 to 5 minutes before beginning the next compound movement, if you have another one. For example, front squat. 2 sets at 3 to 5 reps. On some days, this may be my entire workout. Brief, intense, and effective. This is how most of my sessions usually turn out, and I managed to maintain my strength and muscle mass despite being in a severe caloric deficit at the time. You can add in a few assistance exercises as well, but I'd keep it limited to 2, 3 at the absolute most, and stay within the 6 to 10 rep range. Cut out the foo-foo exercises and keep your training centered around the big movements. As a side note, if you can't perform movements such as chin-ups, deadlifts, squats, and the bench press for some reason, all is not lost. You still have the option of using the lat pull-down, weight-assisted chin-up machine, leg press, and push-up variations, just to name a few. The key is to simply use a heavy enough weight to maintain intensity, regardless of the actual exercise selection. You just listened to the post titled, Friends Don't Let Friends Lift Light by Roger Lawson of rajlawfitness.com. I love pyramids. Just as Roger described, it's one of those things that mixes the strength training with a little bit of high reps. It's actually a nice combination of the two. So it increases muscular endurance and strength at the same time. And using pyramids is a widely accepted form of weight training. The American College of Sports Medicine, through whom I am certified, actually acknowledges that this is a great way to strength train. And you may have already visualized this, but if you're wondering, well, why do they call it a pyramid? If you were to map this out on paper, you would find that at the very top, at the point of the pyramid, that would be the least number of reps, but your heaviest weight. The next rung down would be a lighter weight, but more reps. The next step or rung of the pyramid, as you're kind of heading towards the theoretical ground, would be again, more reps, lighter weight. So you can see you start at the top where the point is really small, few reps, and then the reps gradually increase. So the pyramid starts to expand. So it makes this big triangle shape. Now, something that I like to do, and I only recommend this for people who are more experienced, is you, for your workout, go up and down the pyramid. So you start at the top, heavy weight, few reps. You go down the rungs, you decrease weight, increase your reps. When you get to the bottom, where you're basically doing no more than 10 reps with a really light weight, you then go back up the pyramid towards the top. So you increase the weight again, doing fewer and fewer reps until you reach the top. Trust me, you will feel the burn for sure. And what's great about it is psychologically, it doesn't feel like you're doing a ton of work. But by the time you're done, let's say you're using the 10 rep range, meaning 10 reps is the maximum number of reps you're going to do using your pyramid scheme. Well, that doesn't sound right. Using this pyramid structure, if you go up and down the pyramid, you're going to end up doing maybe 110 reps total, depending on how you structure it. That's a lot of reps. So again, you are going to give your muscles a tremendous workout. Now, before I go, if you enjoy this show, would you mind sharing it with someone today? The easiest way to do that would be to show them how to subscribe on a smartphone. A lot of people still don't know what a podcast is or how to subscribe. So if you can show someone that likes audiobooks or narration and would like the show, it'd be great if you could share it with them. All right, that's enough for me today. I'll be back tomorrow as usual, so stay tuned for that, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.